Well, hello everybody, it's me, your boy. And today we're back with yet another tier list with... Who are you?
Your boyfriend.
Yes, this is my boyfriend. Say hello to YouTube.
Hi, YouTube.
Hi. Which is also in your name, Gibran from YouTube.
It's actually my full name.
Right.
I should change that.
Your last name is YouTube.
Yes.
Your middle name is From.
Yes.
Okay, anyways. Today we're doing a tier list together since we've both gotten into Pokemon Unite.
Yes.
I definitely want to make some changes to my previous tier list. I put some people in some places that I overestimated and some other people that I underestimated, so I want to make some changes to that. The first character we're going with is alphabetical, so keep that in mind. I have my list here, which is not in alphabetical order. Hold on. Absol. Where would you put him? What's your first impressions on Absol?
The first time I saw Absol, it was just zooming, zigzag, zigzag,
Yeah.
non-stop.
Yeah.
Was baffled
Baffled.
with that movement.
B for bamboozled.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. I believe I put Absol on the A tier last time, and I'm still content with that decision. If you know what you're doing, S tier, but that's if you know how to maximize his potential. If you don't, solid A tier.
Yes.
You can kind of wreck base with him. But if not, you can bring him down to a B tier. You could bomb with this character. He relies on critical hit damage, physical damage dealer. He's got to rush you down. If he can't close that distance, he's not going to succeed. He's also relatively squishy because he's a speedster. So his defenses are nothing to write home about. Next, we have Charizard. And we can put Blissey. And where's he at? Where you at, buddy?
Blastoise. Wait.
There he is. Blastoise is unavailable. You are coming next, actually. As far as I know, Blastoise is coming next.
Clefable.
Clefable. And I think that's it for now. I don't have Sylveon on here, but Sylveon is coming. Probably the last one to come. Yes. Anyways, Charizard. C tier. C tier for Charizard. Okay, now Charizard has one very important thing going for him. He's the only melee attacker in the game who can attack while moving. You do not have to stop in place to attack. He's got that flame breath. You can move while attacking. His ultimate is insane. Probably one of the highest damage dealing Unite moves that I can think of. And that's about it. Everything else is just not that conducive for Charizard. He's just not. A tier for me is again solid. Charizard has too many cons to his pros to make a big impact on the game. What were you gonna say?
I said it with you.
Oh, you said it at the same time? Oh, I didn't even hear you. Nice. I've seen good Charizards, but a lot of the times if I see a Charizard in lane, the same thing with, you'll see it coming up next, Talonflame. If I see them in lane, I'm unbothered. I'm not gonna be like, oh shit, it's a Charizard, I gotta escape. I'm like, what the fuck you gonna do? Come on, face. Anyways, next is Cinderace, which is the opposite of Charizard. S tier. Do you agree with that?
Well, I don't play with many characters, so unless I have first-hand experience, I can't really give my opinion on it.
That's fair.
But I have seen you play with Cinderace, little ranged soccer ball.
Yeah.
That's fun to play with.
Well, the main draw of Cinderace is that he's an attacker that's ranged, and his attack speed is so incredibly high, and it just keeps scaling higher and higher and higher. And if he drops below 50%, his passive kicks in, which is 50% health. His attacks just deal more damage, more critical hit. So he just if he takes damage, he's gonna retaliate extra hard.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have high defenses either, so it's kind of easy to knock him into that 50% range. His abilities are good. He's got Feint, which makes you invulnerable for a little bit of time. You've got the Flame Charge, which lets you dash quite far, deal some damage. You've got Pyro Ball, which just obliterates and deals burn. Right. So Blaze Kick fires you to that location, and then you jump back and gives them a burn. So that's also pretty good, but if you can go Pyro Ball, why would you not go Pyro Ball? it cuts through enemy teams. You can possibly hit 5 people at once, when Blaze Kick is going to hit maybe 1 or 2. Very, very good. And it's on a slightly shorter cooldown, so Cinderace for me, S tier. Next we have the bird, Cramorant. A lot of people think Cramorant is S tier or A tier, but he's heavily reliant on his abilities to deal damage. His auto attacks are okay. It's got that ricochet effect where it can bounce from one character to another. That's decent. He's kind of got that Gardevoir effect where he's very squishy. If you jump on him, he's gonna struggle, and he's ranged, so he's gotta get out of there and get your eject button. You know, a lot of these other characters you'll see, their best form of escape is eject button, and that's on a cooldown, like a big cooldown. I believe I had him in A tier last time. I'm actually gonna drop him down to B tier. I don't think he's as good as people are making him. Yeah, you can do really good with his abilities. Let me double check what his abilities are. Because I think I said Whirlpool last time. Whirlpool is his basic ability, and I should not have said that. Surf. Surf is, in my opinion, not good at all. Yes, it pushes the enemy away, but it pulls them back in towards you.
It's not like Slowbros where it's just constantly pushing away.
No, it pushes them away and then back towards you, which you don't want. You don't want them to come back at you. That's not good. Yeah, it increases their movement speed, but if you have pushed an attacker away from you and then bring them back in, if they're ranged, it doesn't matter because they're just going to keep hitting you, and it doesn't stun them either. And you wouldn't pick Surf over Dive anyways. Dive seems a little bit more useful with that three charges. Hurricane, pretty good, but you have to aim it. If you're not good with aiming, you're not going to be good with this move. And Air Slash is just like a side grade. It's not strictly better, it's not strictly worse, it's just you can pick one of these two. It would be better if he didn't have to pick and have just 2 solid abilities at once. Or if he could just keep Whirlpool with Hurricane, because that would just destroy a certain area. You can pop that on a goal and just deny everybody and be kind of like Zeraora and just melt them down with an area of effect. His ultimate is very powerful, but it roots you in place. You cannot move, so you're just a sitting Pelican, yeah. You know, I was gonna say duck, but no pun intended. But it's good. It's very good, but you have a very high chance of being killed while your ultimate is running. And that's one of the things that you do not ever want to happen to you as a character. Because your ultimate is supposed to be like your big culmination of power, and then you die. You know, I would put him in C tier, but I'm being generous because he does deal a good amount of damage. It's decent. It's not nothing that would make you want to pick this character up. You don't see him a lot in the high end or the low end of games. He's just a rare character to see, and those that do play as him have to put in the work to really get value out of him. Nah, you know what? C tier. Sorry, Cramorant. Now that I've said all that, C tier.
Well, given the benefit of the doubt, he seems to have a better leverage over Charizard.
You think he's better than Charizard?
Yeah, in my opinion, yes.
Okay, well for you, I'll put him in B tier then. If you believe, B for believe.
Oh no, he's definitely C tier.
Oh, you think he's in C tier still?
He's better than Charizard is what I meant.
Okay, good to know. Okay, next.
Crustle.
We have Crustle. In my last video, S tier. What do you think? S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier for Crustle?
I would say keep him in S tier.
Yeah.
Because when I play rank matches, he has what is it? Rock.
You're talking about the one that makes him move faster?
Yeah.
That Shell Smash.
Shell Smash. When people get in Shell Smash in rank matches, they can just come in, deal damage, get out.
Mm-hmm. It's on a very short cooldown. It's ridiculous. I think it's like a 4-second cooldown. It's very quick.
Yeah, and that's like very good, especially when you have a large group of people and you're trying to support and get kills out of that. You just pop in, damage, pop out. As you wait for like the big guy, Zeraora.
Yeah, and he's got, if you're not using Smell Splash. If you're not using God damn it. If you're not using Shell Smash, your defenses are already high. So if you're not caught when you've lowered your defenses, because Shell Smash reduces your defenses and
increases your attack.
Correct. So it does that. So you kind of do like a trade-off. And you're more susceptible to damage when you have Shell Smash active, but afterwards your defenses go back to normal. So yes, it makes you move faster, all that good stuff, but he's still really tanky. You know, he's really hard to get rid of. His biggest flaw is just has no healing or sustain at all. You could run like a potion or something like that, or run with an Eldegoss, or run with somebody that can heal you like Mr. Mime, or but other than that, you're gonna deny those goal zones, and you're not gonna die unless if you really know what you're doing. A Crustle will never die in an entire match, and especially with its ultimate, it just gives you that massive shield, massive damage, area effect damage. The best time to use that usually is with Zapdos, because you deal a bunch of damage, you hit the enemy team, you don't die, you tank all those hits. It's just, he has very, very little downsides. That's what S tier is for characters that, every character has pros and cons, but their cons are very, very low considered to their pros. Same thing with like C tier, B tier. I would put these characters like, you have too many cons to outweigh your pros, and here you have not too many pros, but like, what's a good way to say that?
For A tier?
A tier, S tier. You have your pros outweigh your cons heavily.
If you want to be like really greedy about it, if you give him X speed as his not X speed, X attack as the item,
yeah,
even more massive damage.
Yeah,
or unless you want to be like not a spy, but like a ninja about it.
Assassin.
Go in and out.
Yeah,
X speed for sure. Here comes your other favorite.
Right, onto my other favorite, Eldegoss, who, like, are we even gonna debate about this? Eldegoss is like the healer. Yes, other characters have some healing, but Eldegoss heals the entire team, gets you buffs. Yeah, you could run in an attacker Eldegoss, but why would you do that? Like, Cotton Spore is garbage. I mean, in certain situations, yeah, sure, but like, just run, oh god, I forget what it's called. I use Eldegoss all the time, I forget what it's called. Cotton Guard. Just use Cotton Guard. Just use Cotton Guard, just use Pollen Puff, you win. You're doing good. Unless, very high caveat, if your team sucks, you can't heal a sucky team. Don't heal a Gardevoir, don't heal a Gengar. Like, they're going to melt. They're just gonna die. Yeah, if you're like going towards an objective and they have low health, yeah, you can heal them and throw like a Pollen Puff at them and heal them. But if you're in a team fight and your Gengar or your Gardevoir is like frontline, don't waste your time healing them when you could heal a Snorlax, you could heal a Crustle, you could heal a Machamp, like
a Zeraora.
Yeah.
Make sure you give the reminder to, if you're gonna play a supporting character like Eldegoss, don't run into the head of battle.
Yeah, do not be a frontliner. You are not a frontliner either. Do not start dealing damage.
Stay back and just farm Pokemon until you're ready with your skill sets.
Correct. Yeah, there's not much to say about Eldegoss. It's just a very good Pokemon. It's one of the only clerics in the game, so you're gonna support. Don't pick Eldegoss if you want to attack, so don't even bother. Anyways, after that, Garchomp, Mr. Chompy Boy, who I put in A tier last time. I'm actually gonna put him in B tier now, because yes, he deals a ton of damage. I don't think I've talked to you about this, but yes, Garchomp deals a ton of damage. His Unite move does a ton of damage. His abilities do a ton of damage. He has nothing to stick onto an opponent. If you can outrun him, he's literally just a stone on the floor. He has a very hard time keeping up with faster threats. Like, if you're 1v1 with Cinderace, he's gone. You're stuck in the corner. Eldegoss, you're gone. Crustle, gone. Absol, gone. Like, a lot of these characters, you need to get them in a corner and just burst them down. But if you can't burst them down and they leave with a eject button or whatever, just hit return home, because you've used your abilities. You're not going to catch up. They already know you're a threat. Goodbye.
The only way I see you trying to kill someone is with a combination of Dragon Claw and Dragon Rush, I believe is what it's called.
Yeah.
So long as you can get in front of them, use Dragon Rush to push them back, and then Dragon Claw. But
yeah, if that doesn't succeed in scoring you a kill, it's not game over if you can rush them down. If you can maybe carry a X speed and then just run after them, or maybe a float stone while chasing to really secure that kill. Yes, it's possible, but it's a very specific thing you need to run, and you need to be aware that Garchomp cannot catch up to these opponents. Your cooldowns for those moves, that Dragon Rush, which is your dash, if you pick it, is on like a 3 to 4 second cooldown or whatever. That window of time, the 3 to 4 seconds, that enemy's gone. It's used their eject button, it's used their X speed, it's used the launch pad, it's gone. It's returned home, it's gone. You know, this game is about like quick engagements, get in, get out. Just like our boy Crustle, he gets in, he gets out. I've been attacked multiple times by like Garchomp, I was gonna say Caesar, Charizard, and I pop that that shell smash, and I'm out of there. Like I'm up like fucking 0 to 20. Yeah.
If anything, did you change him from an attacker to like supporter?
No, he's not an attacker. He's an all-rounder.
Oh, he's an all-rounder?
Yeah.
Well, whatever he is, he would be a better supporter, to be honest.
Support? You think he's support?
Like if you just to like not support, but like a bodyguard.
Oh, like a defender.
Yeah, like a bodyguard for Gardevoir, for Pikachu, or what's his face?
That's why he's considered an all-arounder. He's in that category because he doesn't like specifically excel at attacking. Yes, he's very good at it, but he can also take a good hit. You know, he can. I don't think he has any supportive moves as far as like giving somebody like a buff, or he's not the defender type.
He does have one move. I think it's called Earthquake or Bulldoze. That one is kind of like Snorlax's weak version of Heavy Slam.
Oh, it's like a stun?
Yeah. But it's very weak compared to Snorlax.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to see a supportive Garchomp that has just like a lot of stun type moves, like Earthquake or like, what is it, Sand Attack? Because I think you get Sand Attack early, right? But you lose it.
But I believe Sand Attack, all it does is like just minimize the smallest view screen. If they can like switch up the mechanics and be like, oh, you have like, you drop percentage on the success rate on landing a hit, then I feel it would be more useful. Because that's basically what Sand Attack does in the main game.
Yeah.
Decrease the accuracy.
Yeah, and it sucks too, because one of my friends like really likes Garchomp, and I was like,
yeah,
but he's not that good. Okay.
It's because it's India's Garchomp.
Right.
We got a sim for that.
Brand new character, Gardevoir. A lot of people are putting her in S tier. A lot of people think she's S tier.
She's probably low A tier.
Yes,
being honest.
I agree. She's low A tier because, yes, she has probably the highest damage output of a ranged attacker. Probably does more than Cinderace. But it's that paper-thin defenses. If you look at her, she will, like, fly away in the wind. She just dies. At level 15, if a Talonflame attacks me, I die. And she has no defenses. Like, you need to get in, get out. Same thing with, like, a lot of these other attackers. Cinderace can stay in an engagement for a little bit and just take a little bit of damage, but he also needs to get out and not stay. He's not an all-arounder where he can take a hit. You'll see the same thing with Lucario. Lucario is also an all-arounder. He can take a good hit. You know, he's not going to just, like, fall over. Yeah, I mean, her moves are... She's one of those characters that has that tree of moves that split off, but all of them are good choices. Psyshock is very good. Future Sight's very good. Moonblast is very good. Psychic's very good. They're all good choices. A lot of like other characters, they have those 4 moves and 2 are just duds. They just suck. Why would you like ever pick them? They're bad. Like Eldegoss. Like why would you ever pick Cotton Spore over Cotton Guard? Yeah, you could run in an attacker Eldegoss, but it's just not. They need to like rework those moves or change them to be something completely different. But yeah, anyways, Gardevoir, I would put her like right underneath Cinderace for S tier if she didn't go down like a wet paper bag.
Yeah.
You know, but she's very good. Very good at range. Back line only. No middle lane, no front lane, back line. Do not engage with her, with anybody that can rush down on you. Garchomp would make mincemeat of her, because she has no way to get out of there either. She just has to like very slowly walk away. Yes.
Pick her, what I would call them, pulse moves, which are Psychic and Psyshock. It has that nice area. And especially Psyshock.
Aha, gotcha.
Psyshock.
Psysock.
Psysock. Soy sauce.
She throws it. She throws a sock at the opponent.
Yes.
The Ghost Poison type Gengar, still an S tier. Again, one of those characters right next to Eldegoss is kind of important. Hex and I believe it's Sludge Bomb. That combination is absolutely deadly. It's like not picking Discharge on Zeraora. If you pick Hex and Sludge Bomb, you win. You win the character. You're good to go. Another one of those characters though, he just gets in, he gets out. If he stays, he's gonna die, but he's invaluable in form of an attacker. He's a speedster technically. You win. 1v1 fights, you're gonna win that. 1v2, you can, depending on who it is, you can still win that even, but you need that Hex and that Sludge Bomb to hit. If you don't get that hit on the second enemy, you might struggle. But speedster types I would equate to like the assassin or like the rogue of the characters, because they get in, they get that snipe, and they get out. Paper thin defenses, obviously. He's not gonna sit there. He's melee, so you have to be careful on engagements. There's not much else to say with these S tiers. They just have a very solid kit, not a lot of cons, and mostly pros. So, any thoughts on Gengar?
Just make sure you're using Sludge Bomb on the goals.
Yes.
Your goal specifically, because I did not know that Sludge Bomb, if you throw it on a goal, prevents your opponents from scoring goals.
Yes. If you have the poison status effect, you cannot score a goal unless you're using Score Shield, of course. And even if it might eat through your Score Shield, so if you have low health, Score Shield scales off of your health. But yeah, a lot of these S tiers, there's not much to say about them. They're just good. If you've played as them, you know they're good. If you played as like an A, B, or C tier, you might struggle a little bit with the lower tiers, but the B tier feels solid, and then the A tier feels a little broken, but you have a matchup or two that you can lose. Okay, next is the character that I forgot last time, and then the one that you don't think is in the game.
Yeah,
It's Greninja.
I don't see him.
You don't see Greninja?
Like, probably, I think I played like 100 matches by now,
Uh-huh.
and I've only seen him in one match.
Wow. Well, the thing is, Greninja is one of those characters that you don't get at the beginning of the game. You need to purchase him separately.
But I believe in the beginning, there was a certain like time limit on when you could pick certain characters to like try out.
Well, you can try out any character you want in practice without purchasing them.
No, but even so, like if you do online or rain, at the bottom, it gives you like an option of things you can choose from, but like they're limited.
Right. Well, Gengar.
Gengar never appeared.
Greninja is not part of that rotation right now. I think it's going to be like maybe like next week, because like a lot of these MOBAs, or like back when I played like Valorant, you get like a selection of characters that you can play as for free, but then next week or next month or whatever, they rotate out and you don't. Yeah, like Brawlhalla. So they rotate in and out. Anyways, to the character. You don't see him too often, yes, but again, he would be like one of the characters I would put in B tier. He's similar to Lucario and Garchomp, where yes, he can chase you down, yes, those water shurikens are deadly, but his damage just doesn't pump out that fast to assassinate somebody. His defenses are not high enough to sustain a hit. His abilities, while are good, they're not on the verge of like broken or overpowered. It's not something to kind of take that envelope and pass it over to S tier, you know? He just is good. He's very good. He's not a bad pick. B tier, you're not gonna get shit for picking them, you know? They're good. They're very good. C tier is questionable. A lot of times if I see like a Talonflame or a Venasaur, spoiler, but Venusaur, we're gonna put him in C tier, or a Talonflame, I'm not just like, oh, god damn it, like this match is already lost because they picked Charizard, they picked Talonflame. You know, Greninja, if you see a good Greninja on your team, you're like, yes, I'm glad he picked Greninja. But if you see a bad one, you're like, I can see why, you know. Any thoughts on Greninja, even though you don't see him in matches?
Don't have enough information to comment on it.
Yeah, that's why I put him in D tier. He's okay, he's good, he's alright, he's solid.
Up next, Lucario.
Yes. Who is, I just talked about, right behind. Well, these are not in order of like these characters are better the farther they up. They're just in alphabetical of how I place them. Lucario, good, very good character. Obviously, he's good, but the same caveat with Garchomp. You run away from Lucario, he doesn't really have an answer to that outside of that 50-second cooldown eject button or X speed. You know, he's got to chase you down to finish that engagement. Because like I said, these engagements in this game are becoming more get in, get out. If you can't get in, get out, you're going to lose that engagement. You're going to die. Your opponent's going to run away from you. Because that's the thing. If you, on lower levels, yeah, people don't realize like that you're low on health and you're not going to win this engagement. And to get out of there, maybe you'll see a lot more value out of Lucario because those people are going to stay when they should not. But at higher levels, you're going to get real frustrated with how many people are leaving that engagement being like, all right, I'm not going to win this, I'm out. You know, or people like Cinderace or Gardevoir or like range attackers that are going to poke. They're going to poke you and harass you to be like, come after me, come after me. And then their teammate swoops in, gets that goal, gets out. The person you were attacking gets out. You know, they've successfully like taunted you basically. You know, you're going to see a lot of that. And especially in the higher level plays, there's going to be a lot of goal guarding. Lower level plays are like, it's whatever. They don't really care. But higher level plays, they're going to stop you. They're going to try to stop you from getting that goal because a lot of those, spoiler, but we're going to be making an item tier list. The score themed items, the ones that stack with that many goals, they get less and less and less useful in higher play because you're not going to get a bunch of goals right away off the bat. Towards the end of the game, you're going to score more goals, but those items are the most useful at the beginning of the game when you can snowball. When it's towards the end of the game and you're still waiting to snowball, it's a little bit too late for that. You know, you should have, when everybody else is currently a snowball and you're like a snowflake, it's too late. And that's kind of the antithesis of Lucario. He's a snowflake in a snowball bowling alley. He's good, but he has to get rolling. He needs to get that jungle, and he needs to get those early kills and be that higher level. But once you're at max level and everybody else is at max level, his value is a little bit lower than everybody else.
Next, Machamp.
Notice how most of these are melee. I believe Greninja's ranged. Machamp. Same thing with these three characters have the same exact weakness. It's sticking power. It's Garchomp, Lucario, and Machamp. Machamp has that rush down ability.
Another way you can look at it, all the B tiers can be bodyguards. Like,
yeah,
just tag along with Cinderace, Gardevoir, Eldegoss.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
It's a solid duo right there.
Yes. His submission, that's a must pick. You see this all the time because just like the Pokemon games, the main series, submission increases your movement speed. It doesn't do that. So in this game, it increases your movement speed, and he just fucking books it to whatever enemy, and he does like a suplex on them. So that's really good. But an 11-second cooldown, again, with that get in, get out, that 11 seconds is way too long to be able to chase after somebody. You can do one engagement after another back to back, but if a current engagement is going bad for you, the eject button over a wall, or they X speed out of there, Machamp is just left in the dust. Yes, he deals a ton of damage, and in team fights, very, very good, very deadly. He just pumps out and a massive amount of damage. Unite move, very good. But you really don't see team fights until the end. You're not going to see a 5v5 until Zapdos. And he might struggle to kill the wild Pokemon because he's melee and he's going to have to rush in there. And if you, say for instance, you're going up against a Cinderace, he's going to keep poking at you until you take too much damage where you need to get out of there. And you're going to leave the wild Pokemon behind, and he just like, pop, gets that kill, gets that experience, and you lost it. You know, a lot of these characters that are in S tier, they can the biggest strategy right now is starving your opposing team of EXP, and the S tier right now have a heavy emphasis on that. You know, that Eldegoss is hard to kill, at higher levels because of how bulky it is, plus the healing. It's not going to deal a lot of damage to you, but it has a lot of staying power. You're going to be tricked into following the Eldegoss, and it's going to lead you right into the enemy team. Be like, hey, come on, come here. And then you get dived on. You know, that happens quite a lot, to be like, oh, a healer, let me go kill it. Surprise, now you're dead. So, anyways, that was a roundabout way to say Machamp is in B tier. Again, very good. Wouldn't put it in A tier. He's close. A lot of these characters, if they didn't have that glaring weakness of it's easy to run away from them, they would be A tier. Because they deal that damage, they can take damage, but they just can't secure that kill. And that's the important part of this game right now, is get in, get out.
It's your boy, Mr. Mime.
It's your boy, Mr. Mime. I love Mr. Mime. He's super fun. Not A tier. B tier, for sure.
Top B tier.
Top of B tier? You think so?
Well, because with the barrier and then...
Mr. Mime has a lot of strats. A lot of strats. He's got the same kind of thing where he's got 4 moves, 4 abilities that are very potent, but they all do different things. Confusion is the one that pushes you.
Yes. Makes sense.
And this ability combined with any wall will deal massive amounts of damage and stun the enemy. So you can pop that barrier directly behind somebody because it auto targets directly behind them, like immediately behind them, and then use that confusion, and their health drops to 25%, just like that. Psychic is interesting. The way it works is very interesting. You do this little fun little dance, and then you pop with the psychic energy, and it stuns enemies. Now, this interacts with his barrier and guard swap. So your barriers will also pulse that stun and that damage wherever your barrier is currently at, and guard swap, your target of guard swap will pulse that stun and damage. Barrier, you can have a couple charges of these. 2 is the minimum, and then once you upgrade, it goes to 3. Guard swap, you can swap with an enemy and deal a little bit of damage over time, but if you swap with an ally, it increases their movement and it heals them at the higher level. So it's good. He's a support, obviously, for his kit's very supportive, obviously. Those barriers, they can't be broken, which is great. Your allies can pass through them, but enemies cannot. So, in theory, you can go to Zapdos and just wall Zapdos off, and they can't get to Zapdos, but your team can. But that's also, if they have a bunch of melee attackers, super useful. If they have a bunch of range attackers, not very useful. So it's like, he's like 50-50. He's good. His basic attacks are good. They're decent.
His cooldowns as well are pretty decent.
Yeah, for sure.
Barrier, just 2 seconds.
Yes, it's fast. It's very fast. You can just pop it up. But yeah, and this is me saying I enjoy playing as Mr. Mime, but I would not put him in A tier or S tier. He's good. He's fun to play as, but not game breaking or a must pick at all. Next, we have your boy Ninetales. Now, I believe I put Ninetales at the A tier last time. A lot of people say Ninetales is S tier. Ninetales is kind of like teetering on the edge of like attacker supporter because of that freeze. If you can freeze an enemy in a team fight, that's like holy grail, like awesome, because that immobilizes them and stuns them, and it's based on how much ice you're throwing out at that moment. You can use the avalanche, you can use the, I believe Aurora Veil also freezes the goal.
Which was the one that makes like that ice? Is that
Avalanche.
Blizzard? Oh, Avalanche.
Yeah, Blizzard is when she like flips her tail and pushes. So Blizzard pushes people away. A lot of times I would not say Dazzling Gleam is that good. Yes, it like, does it stun? Yeah, let's just say it stuns them. So it'll give you that stun, but Avalanche makes that wall and then it bursts for damage. Which is good because people are like, it's like the type of wall that Mr. Mime would put up, but it deals damage. So, anyways, that's a lot of rambling to say. I would personally put Ninetales in A tier because it's relatively as frail as Gardevoir, yes. If you dive on Ninetales, she's probably going to die. But that freezing support, very, very good. That pushing, the Aurora Veil, it has a lot of supporting moves for an attacker. Hits hard. Ninetales does hit hard. but frail. Very frail. If you feed an early Ninetales and it snowballs, no pun intended, that ice damage just like shreds. And she does not suffer from the B tier weakness, which is catching up to somebody. Because if you freeze your enemy, they can't move. You know, you just go back and pick them back up. And she's ranged. So you can't really escape her. You know, she'll just keep pelting you a little bit. But, like I said with Charizard, Charizard's able to keep moving and attack. A lot of these characters can't. So Gardevoir, before she attacks, she stops, shoots, stops, shoots. Ninetales is gonna stop, shoot, stop, shoot. Any thoughts on Ninetales?
Just a giant snowball.
Just a giant snowball fight. Okay, good to know. S first, S tier. Snowball fight, S tier. It started with an A. Pikachu, who you were shocked, no pun intended, that people also think Pikachu is S tier.
No, I just don't see it.
No? Again, Ninetales. Pikachu suffers from the same thing as Gardevoir and Ninetales. Incredibly squishy. I think one of the lowest health pools in the game. If you dive on Pikachu, it's dead. Yes, it's gonna like really hit you hard, but it's gonna die. If you engage one-on-one, you're probably gonna die. And Pikachu's gonna deal a lot of damage, but in team fights, Pikachu's like gone in the wind.
In my experiences, I've never seen a Pikachu like kill someone.
Really?
Like he's always partnered up with Zeraora or Greninja, or just someone who's like a melee attacker.
Mm-hmm.
Because his standard attack is pretty weak.
Mm-hmm.
Even the third strike is pretty weak. From the moves that I've seen, the only one I think is pretty good is Electro Web. Not Energy Ball, Electro Ball.
Mm-hmm.
That one's for sure. And it even has splash damage. So
Yeah.
And then Volt Tackle is just.
Volt Tackle's good.
Yeah, Volt Tackle, like if you could pick between Volt Tackle and Thunderbolt, definitely pick Volt Tackle.
For sure.
Because it's like, again, get in, get out. He goes in to tech, and then he comes back to where he was.
Right.
And then if you want to like just keep adding on damage to that, maybe throw in an Electro Ball.
Yeah.
Good measures.
And I think the summary of Pikachu is if you want electric type Zeraora, don't pick Pikachu.
Yeah.
Pikachu's good.
But I see him more as.
Really? Yeah. I can see him as like a duo partner. Pick a Slowbro, pick a Snorlax, pick a Mr. Mime, Wigglytuff, and run a Pikachu. But why do that when you could run somebody else? You know what I'm saying? Pikachu, not C tier, B tier for me. Yeah. Okay. Next up is the potion. Going right up. No, I'm just kidding. Next up is Slowbro, who I'm gonna check real quick. Where did I put Slowbro? Right, but anyways, I put him in A tier last time, and I'm sticking with that decision. He's good. Not S tier. He has the passive ability to take damage over time instead of damage all at once. He's got that telekinesis. That's really, really good for team fights, because if you spot a Cinderace, if you spot any of these characters on S tier, and you can single them out and telekinesis them, and your team can be like, oh, Slowbro is focusing on that one, burn him down.
Yes.
But telekinesis is a targeted move. You can hit a wild Pokemon, you can hit the wrong Pokemon.
You can even miss.
You could miss, you know, and if you're good with aim, yeah, you're gonna hit your target, but in this tier list, we consider high level play and low level play. We're trying to bridge the gap between that. So for instance, Gengar, if you're a low level, you can still do really good with Gengar. If you're high level, you're gonna wreck with Gengar. There's only one character that I've heard differing opinions on, and that's Zeraora, being very, very high tier in low rank, but like A to B tier in high rank. But in my opinion, we're gonna combine that, merge that out. Yeah. Anyways, Slowbro, take Surf, take Telekinesis, you're gonna have a good time. Ultimate move, in my opinion, because you cannot use it on a wild Pokemon in this current build. Maybe they might change that. That drops the value for me quite a lot, because it has to be used on an enemy. You can't use it on Zapdos. You can't use it on
Rotom,
Rotom, Buffalon, Dreadnought, Ludicolo. You can't use it on them. You know, to get that quick, make sure you get that Rotom, make sure you get that Dreadnought. You can't. You have to rely on your team and your auto attacks to do that. Basically, your Surf. That lowers the value a little bit. It's the same argument with Pikachu and Zeraora. Why would you pick Pikachu when you can pick Zeraora? Why would you pick Slowbro when you can pick Snorlax? You know, if you're gonna pick a defender, pick Snorlax. And with that being said, Snorlax is next, which is, I believe I put him in S tier. He's staying in S tier. The block, probably one of the best abilities in the game, because it reduces the damage you take. It completely chokes off a point. It knocks, if you knock into Slowbro, if you knock into Snorlax, you get knocked back and stunned for a little bit of time. Ridiculously good. Like, ridiculously good. Why would you not pick it? What is it called? Heavy Slam?
and Flail.
And Flail. Those are really good movement abilities.
You can't go wrong with either four.
Right. Yeah, you could run Yawn, but why run Why
Rice?
run Yawn?
Rice?
Rice. Why run Yawn when you could run Block?
Yeah.
I would feel like you would run Yawn if you're doing a lot of 1v1, but you're gonna want to do, team fights.
Well, another scenario where you can run Yawn is if you're specifically with a team, like on Discord, and Gengar gets like Dream Eater. Yeah, that would make sense. But like, if you're doing random matches online, you don't know what Gengar, if you get a Gengar's gonna pick.
Right.
So blocks just go to.
Yeah, and that's the thing with Gengar. If you pick Dream Eater, your value instantly goes down because you didn't pick X. So it's kind of like, don't run Yawn. Just don't run Yawn. All right. Next up is your boy Talonflame. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's a C tier. Talonflame. Not threatening. I don't know what else to say besides it's just not. You see, it's like I said with C tier, you see these people in the lane, you're like, what are you gonna do? Like, I'm just gonna walk around you.
You did this for what?
You did this for what?
At least give him credit. He did possibly give you an idea for the title of the video.
Which is?
It's a bird. It's a plane. It's a C tier.
It's a C tier. I lost my train of thought. What was I gonna say?
You did this for what? You can't kill me. I'm a bad bitch.
You can kill me. I'm a bird. He's too squishy. He deals damage, yeah. His passive ability, I talked about this last time, but in the main game, the higher health you have, the higher damage you deal. But in this game, the higher health you have, the faster you move. That should be both, honestly. Because it would incentivize healing Talonflame and keeping a healthy Talonflame. Its movement speed in this game is not incredibly relevant. It's that chase down potential. If he had a move that maybe hindered, or he's a fire type. Does he have any moves that inflict burn?
No.
Really?
Yes, I believe so.
No, he has 3 different moves that include the word burn or flame, and he does not inflict the burn status. Which is incredibly disappointing. Talonflame just feels like low effort. Like they just didn't put enough effort into this character. They need to add more oomph. They need to add more synergy, more effects. It just needs more. It just needs more everything.
Like, no offense to the creators.
Yeah.
To the company. But like, if you wanted a bird Pokemon, why didn't you go with Staraptor?
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Or that one pelican or toucan from Gen Sun and Moon.
Toucanon?
Toucanon, yes.
Because he's got a cannon.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good thing about this game. I feel has quite the long longevity because you have like 900 Pokemon now. This is 2021. Oh my god. Yeah.
I memorized 700 of them up until like X and Y, but then.
Anyways, next is Venasaur.
Unavailable.
Unavailable because he's so bad. A lot of these C tier characters have that niche, and you have to pick that niche and run with it. In contrast to S tier, who have that niche, and it's invaluable to run with it. But C tier is like, if you don't pick this, you're trash.
Yeah,
Not to say that it's trash, but yeah.
Defend the goal.
Right, defend the goal, get some area effect damage in, pick Petal Dance, pick Sludge Bomb. You're gonna do great.
But at this point, he can somewhat take damage.
Mhm.
But because of Petal Dance, you have to be like near the enemy.
Right.
Like, I would go with the latter, which would be Solar Beam.
The good thing is that Petal Dance increases your movement speed, so you can really just like book it in there.
Of course, yes.
Which is good for chasing down. Venusaur doesn't have like a big problem with chasing enemies down, like the B tier. Because one, it's ranged, two, Petal Dance is kind of like a discount discharge.
Yeah.
Solar Beam is okay, but you need to aim it, and people can see it's telegraphed. So he shoots out like a small beam of light, and the enemy can be like, oh, they're gonna shoot the Solar Beam there, I'm gonna go this way now. It's easy to see. Unite move's good. They have a good Unite move. That's a huge area effect. Weird frog.
It's a frog?
I guess. I don't know. I have no idea.
I thought it was a turtle.
I thought it was a dinosaur. Was it Saur? Anyways, let's not bully Venusaur.
Yes.
2 left. Time for Wigglytuff. B tier. Or do you think C tier?
Definitely B tier. High B tier.
Really? You think high B tier?
Because we can get like those rollout, that double slap, all that good stuff.
Oh my god.
Especially if your aim and luck is good.
Yeah.
And you get stuck in between a corner, especially like the center area. Basically, you blocked off that entrance.
It would be really interesting to see if they change Wigglytuff's rollout to interact with Mr. Mime's barrier. Because that team comp would be insane. You just pop up 2 barriers and she's like, bah, 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 and just like obliterates.
That pinball machine.
Oh
like, especially in the central area where Zapdos is, just going everywhere.
Oh my god.
Just
because when
chaos.
when you hit a wall, rollout, like timer to keep you in rollout, resets. So
you're in a gap that's like the size of a Pokemon, you're just up there dealing crazy amount of damage.
But that's if you get lucky. It's the rollout's not consistently being like, okay, this is like we're gonna do a 45-degree angle pivot. It's like a lot of the surfaces are jagged. So rollout's trajectory is not consistent.
Randomized.
Right. But the thing is, rollout's good, and so is Sing. You don't have to go with one or the other. Both are really good abilities.
Yes.
The passive ability is good. It's Cute Charm. So basically, if you attack it a little bit too much in melee range, you get like a light confusion. Your Pokemon kind of like drops its target. But Sing is good for team fights. Rollout's good for team fights. Rollout resets your main ability, which is either Dazzling Gleam or Double Slap.
Or double hit. Something like that.
Yeah. So it resets that. So Wigglytuff's main damage is awful, but her abilities make up for it.
Nothing but a bulldozer.
Nothing but bulldozer. Yeah. Good support. Good support. Last but not least, Zeraora, who S tier.
Yeah.
If you take a look at the characters in this roster, can you pick one that won't be absolutely shredded by discharge?
Just not Slowbro. Snorlax.
Probably just Snorlax.
Yeah.
Anybody else, if you dive on them with Volt Switch or Spark, pop up that discharge, Zeraora already moves fast enough, and that discharge radius, they need to nerf that. That is way too big for the radius. Either nerf the damage or nerf the radius. You can't have both.
Just swap it out with the Gardevoir's teleport. Because Gardevoir's teleport is garbage.
Yeah.
It can't go through walls.
It can go through walls.
It can't.
I went through a wall.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. It has to be a small wall.
You got a wall. You got.
I got a wall hack.
You got a wall hack. And it's just really short.
Yeah, it's very short.
The eject button has a bigger range than that.
Well, I mean, the thing is, the teleport you're gonna drop. It's a branching ability. You don't keep it, so you lose it anyways. Yeah, but Zeraora he does stupid amounts of damage. You can have a 1v5 and still lose against Zeraora.
Especially with X attack. Oh god.
Yeah, high levels, yeah, he's not as prevalent, he's not as dangerous. But unless you're like the top echelon, where they don't believe in Zeraora, he's gonna be a menace, like from beginner to veteran cup. He's just a menace. He's just, you hate to see him. You hate to see him. He's one of those characters that it's like you see him, you're just like, no, 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 I'm out, because he's got that discharge. If you don't run discharge on Zeraora, I don't know what you're doing. If I had to say best character in the game, it would be Zeraora. Yes, he's squishy. He has no problem with mobility. That's probably his only drawback, is his defenses. He has low defenses and low HP, but why does that matter when your opponent's dead? You know.
Very true.
The only thing I could say about Zeraora is don't dive 1v5 unless you're like very confident you got that special, that X attack on, you got some team support, some buff on you, and you know for a fact that you can get in and out. Because Volt Switch for 1 and Spark for 2. Spark has 3 charges. You can jump over walls. It's insane. If you sense that too much damage is coming your way, just get out. The end. You know, a lot of times you'll face a Zeraora, you'll be this close to killing him, and then he's gone. So, I hope to be one day, that high rank that doesn't care about Zeraora, but for now, he's just an absolute pain in the ass. Alright, that's going to conclude our tier list. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for liking, sharing, subscribing, all that good stuff. And
please give us your opinion in the comments.
Yes, tell us what we got wrong, because I'm sure we got a ton wrong. Let us know your opinions.
Knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power. Thank you to everybody for the support. We reached 100 subscribers on the main channel.
Yay!
We reached almost 60 on Twitch right now. I was at what, like 40 before Pokemon Unite. This game has really, not only is it really fun, but it's really fun to make content with it. So I'd like to thank everybody that's doing the liking, the subscribing, sharing. It means a lot, it means the world. But yeah, thank you from me and mi mundo. Alright guys, we'll see you in the next one. Bye.